Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us in the webinar today about investing in SaaS and subscription business models. We're very excited to have you on the webinar. We're going to talk about a lot of exciting opportunities in investing in businesses like Adcore in SaaS and subscription business models. And before we do that, I'd like to introduce you to Omri Brill, CEO of Adcore, and he will be talking about the business. And myself will also be giving a demo on the Adcore platform. My name is Martijn Van Den Bemd. I'm General Manager for Adcore here in North America. Before we deep dive into the presentation, Omri, I'd really like to ask you a couple of questions and also give the opportunity to elaborate a little bit more on SaaS and subscription-based business models. So can you please give the audience today a little bit of context? What is a SaaS and subscription-based business model about?
Absolutely. So first of all, pleasure to be here today. So SaaS actually it's initials for software as a service. So instead of like if in the good old days, let's say Microsoft releases a new version of its Windows system, then you need to bought it. Like, and you got a physical disk with the version and you pay like full money for it. So that was back in the good old days. But now all the software or many of the software companies switch, to software as a service. So basically, instead of buying the software, you're paying for a license to use the software. So that's a license that you pay usually every month or every quarter or yearly in order to use the software. So that's SaaS. And subscription is always like it's subscription. So it's continue until you cancel it, basically. So it's an ongoing payment method. So basically, usually a SaaS software as a service is going to be in a subscription model. So I'm going to usually pay monthly license fee for the right to use the software, whether it's Windows, Office, or the Adcore Marketing Cloud for this example.
Great, thanks for elaborating on that, Omri. What makes this business model so unique? What makes it so interesting? Can you speak a little bit about the benefits of a business model like this?
Absolutely. So actually the benefits in the SaaS or subscription business model is not only for the business that uses it or offering it, but it's also, I think, very much for the customers, to the consumers as well. So I think like, it's predictable. Obviously, if it's a subscription base, I know exactly what is my MRR. I can calculate what is my monthly recurrent revenue, annual recurrent revenue, and I know exactly where I'm stand. So that's one thing. Obviously, for let's say for the consumer point of view, instead of paying bulk amount to purchase the software, they can pay small sum every month. So it's much more easy for them, to pay a small monthly sum. So this is one thing. It's more easy. I think like it's easier for consumer to know that how much you're going to pay every month, and not every month you need to make a decision whether I buy it, whether I don't buy it, or stuff like that. It's ongoing, it's recurrent, and we know exactly how much we're going to spend. So that's another advantage. And basically the combination between the fact that it's recurrent, it's predictable, it's very good for consumers as well. That's make it a win-win situation for everyone. And that's why it's such a successful business model.
That's great, absolutely. And what I personally very like about it as well is the stickiness to it, also the scalability to it, because, well, you obviously invented Adcore 15 years ago. It's developed over time, and basically you built the technology once, you keep improving it, but the more users are using it, the more scalable it gets, and doubling the revenue not necessarily means doubling the cost. So I think that's another great example of a benefit of SaaS and subscription-based models. So like I said, 15 years ago, you started the company to what it is today. But what is your take on the future of SaaS and subscription-based business models?
So I think like what we see up until now that actually this type of, let's say, a business model is entering more and more, let's say, places in our life. So if it used to be software as a service, now we can have Office as a service, for example. Or we can pay our media or our TV cable, like as a service as well. So I think like the fact that I can pay a small portion every month recurring, actually it's very beneficial, and many more businesses, not only software, adopting this type of business model. I think nowadays consumers almost expect to pay in this type and not to have to pay like one big portion of purchasing the entire product or service or whatever it is. So I think it's becoming more and more popular, and it's always, I would say, a norm today.
Thanks for elaborating on that, Omri. I think the audience today will be very excited to learn more about Adcore. So I think this is a great segue to deep dive into the presentation and talk a bit more about Adcore.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. So let me share my screen with regards to the Adcore presentation, and we can start shortly. So basically, I want to go over the Adcore presentation with you today and basically give some highlight and context about what the company is doing, equally important what the company is about to do and what is the company long-term vision and goals. And obviously, if we have some time today, I think it's also going to be nice to maybe to have a sneak preview to at least one or two apps of the company for you to have better understanding about where the company technology offering is all about, and basically what is the core values the company is offering to our customers. So Adcore is a leading e-commerce advertising technology company, basically, probably the fastest growing company within our sector. And what makes Adcore a bit more unique story within the AdTech space is the fact that we specialize in e-commerce. So all the technologies we are offering, all the solutions that we are offering are tailored for e-commerce. They are fully integrated to the different e-commerce platform. And basically that makes the Adcore, let's say, solution a bit more suitable if you are an e-commerce client and it's not just in a generic AdTech solution. So some investment thesis or highlights. Fastest growing AdTech company, Adcore is growing at almost 190% year over year in the last 12 months. Actually, if we compare Adcore growing rate to the peers, we're growing 4 times faster than the peers. So that's quite an achievement by itself. We are lucky to be in the fastest growing advertising sector. So obviously, e-commerce is growing very fast now during COVID and post-COVID, and basically there's more and more online budgets are going into e-commerce and into e-commerce advertising. We have very scalable technology, the Adcore Marketing Cloud, 5 different apps. Actually, we are about to officially launch the 5th app hopefully this week, and that's another, let's say, important addition to the Marketing Cloud offering. Growing consumer base, as Martijn mentioned before. So obviously it's a very scalable business. So as of today, we serve more than 500 ad agency and 10,000 direct advertiser clients, but obviously we're growing every day, and we have huge addressable market, almost $600 billion in 2021 number, but equally important, this market is expected to grow very fast over the next 3 to 4 years. So the company vision is effortless marketing. Adcore believe marketing should be effortless and accessible for everyone. In a sense, our engineer and we working very hard in order to make our clients' life very easy in a sense. So they can use our technologies, they can leverage our technology and get better results for every dollar they spend online. And as I mentioned before, we're talking about a massive addressable market, almost $600 billion at 2021 numbers, but equally important, it's expected to grow in more than 40% over the course of the next 3 years to more than $800 billion in 2024. So what is already a big market is now actually accelerating and growing even faster. So actually the level of growth, so the size of growth that we see now is unparalleled to where it used to be. So if we need to, from I would say the second part of 2020 until these days, basically because of COVID or during COVID and also post-COVID, we saw a massive digital transformation. A lot of businesses literally forced online or go online full force, and basically a lot of budget went online, and the demand for the technologies that Adcore had to offer and the solutions that Adcore have to offer actually spiked, and that's also we can see it in the numbers. So the level of growth that the company can present now, it's unparalleled to where it used to be even 2 years ago and 3 years ago. So Adcore is actually in a perfect position to lead the space of AdTech for e-commerce. We have the right technology offering, which Martijn going to elaborate a bit more later down this webinar. We have strategic alliances with all the major networks, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, TikTok, and many others. We have very good global coverage, 5 offices, covering 4 different continents. So the headquarters are in Tel Aviv, Israel, another very successful office in Melbourne, Australia, Toronto, Canada, and actually 2 offices in China, 1 in Hong Kong and 1 in Shanghai. Best talent team working for us, best engineer, best digital marketing expert, and basically we have a very diversified team. Speaking over 12 different languages and have a lot of different skills. And that's also part of, let's say, the Adcore secret source of success. And strong financials, strong balance sheet, very impressive growth, and basically that's something that put the company in an excellent position in order to, to gain more market share and continue growing aggressively over the course of the next coming years as well. So when we discuss about the Adcore Marketing Cloud, maybe Martijn, I will let you talk a bit about the Marketing Cloud, and maybe equally important, maybe give us a sneak preview to 1 or 2 apps so the audience is going to have a better understanding about the tech offering behind the Adcore.
Absolutely. I'm super excited to show some of the apps. Before I do that, I'm going to share 1 slide of the presentation that I think is a great summary of what our technology does and our services do. So here we have an example of one of our clients from Australia, Princess Polly, but for us, it's a global client. So we manage them on a global level, so including US, Canada. And this example is basically we take the whole product inventory on the website. It's an e-commerce site selling clothes and fashion. And we take that product inventory and we push it on all relevant channels, primarily search engines and social media. So in this example, you see Princess Polly ads on Google. We have the ads run on Facebook, on Google Shopping, which is an image, which is has the pricing. And we also run ads on Instagram and Microsoft. So on the right-hand side, we have a whole list of different platforms that we support. And this is just the majority of the platforms, the most important platforms, but we even support more platforms through our technology, including marketplaces. So for us, it's very important to take the product inventory, push it across channels. And now I'm going to switch my screen and show you actually a bit more of the technology and also behind the scenes. Another live example I want to give here is one of our clients, Olight. And we basically run all their ads through our technology. And to give an example, we see some ads here from Olight, Canada, in this case, where we generate this ad in an automated fashion. So we make sure there's the right title, we have the right price, we disclose the delivery instructions or delivery price if applicable, and we make sure the right product are promoted so we generate the most sales for this client. Everything here on the top is called Google Shopping ads, so it's always an image is attached to it. And then here one ad below is called a Google search ad or text ad, which is a traditional ad on Google. Was also generated through our technology with the right offers, the right products, and information about the site. And what's always fascinating to show is that actually the whole page here on Google is dominated by ads. So you see the whole above the fold, as we call it, is dominated by ads. And only when it starts scrolling down is where you see what's called the organic results on Google, so the non-paid results. So it's a great testament how important it is as an advertiser to have a very primary position here on the page. So that's what our technology does. On the website adcore.com/technologies, we have an overview of the 4 different technologies that we have: Affiliate Marketing, SEMrush, Feeditor, and Views. Today, I like to talk about Affiliate Marketing SEMrush. Very happy to showcase more of the other apps in a separate session. But for now, definitely want to deep dive in effortless marketing. Effortless marketing sits within our Shopify app store. So we built this store on top of Shopify. Shopify is the biggest e-commerce platform provider in the world with over 1 million active shops till date, and it's growing rapidly. So how it works is a lot of business owners, advertisers start having an e-commerce site, but they need traffic. And we come in and we bring that specific traffic to them. So what we basically do is we create what is called a product feed. That's nothing more than a list of products with the price, the image, the title, the description of the products. And we push them through Google, Facebook, Instagram, Microsoft. And we give the clients the opportunity to optimize their product feed, to improve the quality. So that means better titles, better descriptions, but also remove products that are maybe not profitable. So the system is also intelligent to make suggestions, to make edits, and improve the quality of the products, the quality of the listings on, for instance, Google and Facebook. And last but not least, people have the opportunity to be full control of the budgets. So they can set a daily budget, they can set ROI goals, and the system optimize accordingly. So for now, I'd like to show a short 1.5 minute video, how easy it is to set this up, to link your activity from the Shopify store to these platforms. So for that, I'm gonna make sure I share my audio as well, so you can hear the video.
Hello, my name is Daniela and I'm a product manager here at Adcore. I would like to give you a quick overview into our Effortless Marketing app. Effortless Marketing is a holistic solution for Shopify store owners, from feed creation and submission to smart campaign creation and performance tracking. Once you download the app, it will automatically generate a unique feed URL for you. You can further customize your feed by applying filters, such as in-stock items only, additional image links, or much, much more. It also shows you your feed statistics, including how many store products and feed items you have. In the Merchant tab, select the channels you wish to promote your products on, whether it be Google, Microsoft, Facebook, or all three. From the Campaign tab, you're able to choose what kind of campaigns you would like to create, either smart shopping, smart sites, or both. Once the campaigns have been created, track their performance in the Reports tab. You can also fine-tune daily budget and ROAS goals directly from the app. Whether you're a seasoned store owner in need of a multi-country and currency solution, or have just opened your store, Effortless Marketing is the app for you. Sound too good to be true? Try it yourself.
So I definitely recommend everyone with an e-commerce site to try it, try our app and get the first results in. And this is a great technology for advertisers to get started with advertising and see the first results coming in. And it's a great stepping stone to get more out of the Adcore family of apps. So we have a broader app family, like Omri mentioned. And for that, I'd like to show Semdoc. Semdoc sits within the Adcore Marketing Cloud. So we have 4 different apps, again, Feed It, View, Semdoc, and Effortless Marketing that we just talked about. And Semdoc is actually our analysis and auditing technology. So what it typically does is that it gives any given time window, in this case, last 30 days. It pulls data from a Google Ads account or a Microsoft Ads account, and it starts analyzing its performance. So this demo account here has an overall score of 56%, which is very on the low side. And the system is not only giving a score, but a very detailed breakdown. Where's the room for improvement? What are the elements that are less good optimized or not optimized at all? So the system breaks this down in various elements. Today, I don't want to go to each and every metric, but what I do like to showcase is 1 or 2 features that are most popular amongst our users. And one of them is called coverage, where we look at, for instance, the breakdown where are conversions or sales coming from. So for this specific advertiser, we see that the majority of the conversions or sales are actually coming from mobile devices, which is very logical in times like these where so much people buy products online through mobile devices. However, if you look at the industry benchmark with all the data we have, we see actually that 90% is coming from tablets, whereas in this specific account, only 2.5% is coming from tablets. So it's an identifier for the advertiser to reassess budgets, reassess campaign settings, and to think differently about the campaign, to allocate their resources and budgets also for tablets to generate potential more conversions and more sales. So this is a great example in one overview how fast you see missed opportunities. And at the same time, we also look at the efficiency of the campaign with something called waste ratio, where the system automatically analyzes thousands or hundred thousands of ads and keywords, and it identifies the yearly waste. And in this case, it's 26 or close to 27,000 euros, which is around 35 or 40,000 Canadian. So there's a lot of money to be saved by being more efficient. And the system is not only giving a granular number, but also breaks it down in different buckets, including search terms. And search terms are particularly keywords where people search for in Google. They click on the ad, but they don't end up buying the products. So once I click on this, the system gives me a further breakdown and also the opportunity to click on view it, which brings me further in the system, list the keywords that are affected or the search terms that are affected. And I can, for instance, remove them from my campaigns, make sure my ads won't be shown anymore when someone's searching for those keywords. So it's a great example how, with as easy as pulling a report like this, both more opportunities for revenue growth are found, but also how can I save money? And this is a very important reason why our users and advertisers choose Adcore and our technology to be more successful, more efficient in the campaigns. There's way more metrics that we look at in total. In total, we have 52 metrics, both on account level and on campaign level. Here on campaign level, again, there's certain breakdowns. Everything is clickable. I can click on view it and it brings me further in the system. So there's a lot of elements to look at. And for the very sophisticated user, they tend to use and make the changes themselves. But we also built something called click to fix, which is on this screen, where we basically give the opportunity to make changes automatically. Because Adcore has been in business for over 15 years. So there's 15 years of experience of best practices in the company. And we basically all combined that in this click to fix opportunity. So the system automatically does suggestions, and it's as easy as just sliding the options, try to get 100%, click to fix, and it will implement everything automatically. So you save money on one hand, and at the same time, generate more revenue by being more efficient in your campaigns. So with that, there's way more to tell, but I definitely want to make sure we also touch base on some financial slides and potential Q&A. So with that, Omri, I'd like to hand it back over to you to talk about the financial slides and our revenue model.
Thank you, Martijn. Great, so let me go back to the presentation. Again, thank you so much, Martijn. It's always, I think, like good to see the technology, not only talk about the technology, because let's give our audience a better understanding about what is the technology offering, what is the great values that Adcore can bring to our client base, and basically, equally important, how the 4 different apps that are under the Adcore Marketing Cloud can work with one another in order to create better results for our clients. And I think that's the most important thing in the end of the day. So let's touch a bit about the Adcore revenue model. So we have a very basically scalable revenue model. We take percentage of the total advertising managing via one of the Adcore apps. So basically, and we have 2 main revenue streams. The first one is indirect clients. Usually it's going to be ad agency that are licensing the Adcore Marketing Cloud or the Adcore apps in order to manage their own clients, or direct clients that work with Adcore directly. So basically the average take or platform take for indirect clients is going to be around 4%, and for direct clients is going to be around 10%. And together, let's say if you look at 2020 numbers, it's going to be 23 million revenues that we did in 2020. And if you look at the breakdown in 2020, it was almost 25% for indirect, and 75% for direct. And obviously what we saw because of COVID, that actually the direct client revenue stream grew much faster, much more e-commerce activity, much more budget going line, and basically we can see massive spike in the numbers, and that's we can see. We look at it at the quarterly number and the yearly numbers. We can see it very clearly. So if you look at the revenue breakdown, and on the right side we can see the yearly graph, then we can see the company did in 2018 a bit over 11 million in revenue. 2019 was over 15 million in revenue, and 2020 was almost 23 million in revenue. Just for your information, the last 12 months, the company already did around 40 million. So it's a massive increase in less than 1 year. And if you look at the left side, we can see the quarterly breakdown. Then we can see that the massive spikes that we had like in the beginning, like in the second part, sorry, of 2020, revenue went down a lot in Q2 2020 because of COVID, and then it's rebound in Q3 2020 and a massive rebound in Q4 2020. And then we can see the continuous growth and momentum in revenue. Bear in mind that there's also seasonality attached. A lot of the e-commerce spending is actually happening in the last quarter in Q4. So that's historically is a very strong quarter for the company. So it's not only COVID, but it's also seasonalities that basically influence the quarterly numbers as well. And if you look at the 4 quarters, basically we saw the 4 last quarter, we see 4 quarters of triple digit growth. Q4 2020 was almost 220% growth year over year. Q1 was 160%. Q2 21 was 250%. And Q3 21 was 153% year over year growth. And if you look at the last 12 months, we can see again almost 40 million revenue in the last 12 months compared to 13 million revenue in the 12 months previously. So again, massive growth, which put Adcore in a very interesting place as the fastest growing AdTech company. And if you look at the breakdown, the Q3 numbers, for example, we see top line 10 million, a bit over 10 million revenue. Gross profit was 2.4. Adjusted EBITDA was 0.6. And total working capital was 13.9. And again, if you look at the Q2 numbers, for example, then we saw 7 million in top line, 2.1 million gross profit. Adjusted EBITDA was 1.5 and 13.1 million in working capital. And the same story goes, for every quarter, basically. And if you look at the company balance sheet, it's as strong as it can get. Total assets in September, as of September 21, was a bit over $22 million compared to $17 million in December 20. So that's more than 5 million growth within 9 months. Significant cash pile, again, 15.5 million in September as of September 21 compared to a bit less than 12 million in December 20. And the company owes no debt. Basically, it's debt-free. We used to have a small debt, which was COVID-related, and it was long gone already. And if you look at the free cash generated as well, then again, in the right side, we have the yearly free cash generated. We see that 2018 was 1 million free cash that was generated. 2019 was over 3 million free cash, and 2020 was 7 million in free cash. So basically, the company is also historically been able to generate a lot of free cash as well as the company continued to grow. A bit about the cap table. So total outstanding shares are 63 million. Float is around 35%. Current share price is around 60 cents. And basically that's high level of like the high level about the company. Markup is around 40 million. And actually the next slide is an interesting slide as well because that's a comparable company slide. And we can see on the right side, we put some interesting market of the Adcore growth number in the last 12 months compared to peers. We put in peer companies like Acuity Ads, which is another AdTech Canadian company, and other AdTech companies that everybody know, like a giant company like The Trade Desk, but some other as well. And we can see that clearly Adcore is the fastest growing company within the peers. So almost 190% growth year over year. And we are growing 4 times faster than the peers. And also, if you look at the multiple, then we think like there's a big upside now that basically if the company is trading in 0.6 Canadian dollar. So, but that's again, don't take our word for it. Just like look at the comparable numbers yourself. Look at the company growth numbers and do the math that you need to do. So to sum things up, basically, why Adcore is such an interesting investment opportunity. So we are the fastest growing AdTech company, growing 4 times faster than the peers. We have proprietary technology offering, the Adcore Marketing Cloud, 4 different apps together, and basically now it's growing. The portfolio is growing. We're going to add another. We're going to release another app to the cloud offering. Adcore is helping businesses to digital transform. So we are in the right place, in the right time. We saw massive digital transformation going on, and basically businesses are looking to technology solution providers like Adcore in order to help them scale with their online marketing effort. Huge and growing addressable market, $600 billion 2021 numbers, and continue to grow very fast over the next coming year. And equally proven business model, stronger MRR, stronger ARR that put the company in an excellent position to dominate the field of AdTech for e-commerce and basically continue to deliver great results, both for our investor and equally important to our customers as well. So obviously we have some IR contact details as well. We have Martijn. We have the company CFO and John Nesbitt, which is an IR for the company. And I think that's about it, unless we have some Q&As, Martijn.
Thanks so much, Omri, for elaborating on the financial slides. At this point, we don't have any questions. I want to give an opportunity in 1 minute or so for people to give any questions, but I definitely want to highlight, obviously, all questions can be raised to me personally or to invest@adcore.com. Very happy to answer them. We can jump on a call or do an email conversation. So we will make sure this presentation will be available by on demand through our website and through the current link. So very happy to have more questions coming in after the webinar and answer them as well through invest@adcore.com. Again, thanks so much for everyone's time. It was a pleasure to present Adcore today, and we wish you a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.